Hello, hello, welcome or welcome back. Let's sit back, relax, have a snack, and enjoy. Sit at My Grave, Season 4, Sanity or Salvation, Chapter 6. Once again, Arden was yanked back into the presence. If you don't hurry, these flights will be booked. Most people probably already have tickets for this flight. I'm trying to do you a favor here, she told him dryly. I understand. You can give me a minute. Bert asked before walking off. He found himself a seat, setting his luggage next to him. It took all his willpower not to start shaking from the anxiety that once again crawled back up. He had no idea what to do. He was stuck in a whole different country with no money to his name, dealing with things he couldn't even begin to explain. He was in situations he hadn't fully comprehended himself. His eyes were hot and wet. This was hardly a punishment after what he'd done, but it seemed every problem he ran into seemed to overflood him now. He couldn't face one issue without his mind drifting to another. His teeth chattered. He glanced up the windows, watching the rain. His mind could not stop thinking of that body out there. Had Yara survived, or was he dead? He had been lying there in pain, began giving up hope as cold radiance emerged his body. Arden's body jolted, his body shuddering, his heart quickened its pace as he roughly rubbed his eyes. What if Yara had called out to him for help? What if he had faith Arden wouldn't just leave him like that? They weren't close friends, but Arden couldn't deny they'd made some type of bond working so closely together. And he just left him for dead, just like he'd done to Reed. Just like he'd done to everyone in his life. Arden gave himself repeated taps in the face, gaining his focus back. He hadn't made a lot of noise, but his tongue was already through his face. Can't call Mom. His leg called Dad. Her thought, clutching his phone. Better choose wisely. Soon, he wouldn't be able to make any calls at all. As much as it disturbed him to do so, there was only one person he could call. And if this didn't work, he'd be stuck here until he could find a job and pay his way home. That is, unless he got arrested before that could even happen. He felt himself quiver as he dialed the number. If he said no to helping him, as hard as it would be to hear, he would understand. Could he not? He held his breath, listening to the rain, hoping this wouldn't cause more issues. Hello? Arden, is this you? Tired voice answered. Hey, I need your help, Arden replied. Words tasted so sour he burnt his tongue as they left his lips. The call felt like a slow march through quicksand. It was uncomfortable, distasteful, and there were regrets as soon as it started, but it happened regardless. Arden kept replaying the phone conversation with Gallon in his head as he waited to board his plane. Made him think of the entry in his journal where he spoke to him about knowing that he wasn't that great of a person, and how he wanted to change into something worthy of all the patience and kindness used on him. I shuddered silent and Arden sunk into his chair. He felt so on edge and nervous. He used this time to scribble more of his thoughts into a new journal entry, detailing how he felt leading up and the parts of the fight he could remember with Yara. His penmanship wavered as he wrote. It was odd to see his behavior from that night on paper. He had to get it out, document it. His life was becoming too unpredictable and volatile for him not to. When had he become so needy, so selfish, so violent? He kept telling himself he was doing this to fix what he'd broken, but it seemed so counterproductive, having to act for handouts at every turn. The speaker announced the plane's boarding, and Arden stood up, pointing to his, blank expression over his face. He swallowed roughly, trying not to show the fear and guilt on his face. His brain seemed to be constantly buzzing now, and in some ways it also felt calmer. He hated that it felt like that, but after having other voices in his brain, aside from his own, practically screaming at him, despite his anxiety for everything, it still felt slightly more peaceful, less loud, less tangled. Arden tensed his heel along with his back dripping skin. He tried not to stare too hard, but he wondered if his knife would be picked up, if they would dig deep into those folds of his bag and see the blood-stained clothes buried deep in there. Would he be arrested in the airport? Go through. The word startled Arden, but he quickly went past, trying to absolutely steady his heart. Am I getting lucky? Is there another reason I haven't been caught yet? Arden questioned. He kept glancing around himself, seeing others piling in, talking, rushing over with little gifts from their trip. Other people doing their jobs. Everything seemed suspicious. They were all waiting on him to drop his guard before they could grab him. Arden chewed the skin on his lip as he stumbled to his seat, plopped down with a deep exhale. He rubbed his sweaty palms on his pants, swallowing roughly again. He had to do this. He was restoring balance, continued convincing himself. Just because I know that doesn't mean Yara did. I stole his life. Arden thought bitterly, the utter shock and pain on his face, and his voice. Arden gripped his seat, shaking his head. He tried to focus on other things. It was all he could do in the moment as he stared out the window, waiting to move.